Okay, Assalamualaikum. Hello to everyone who's watching today. In this special session we have today, we're going to build a simple app in Python actually. And I am Dr. Zuhairi, a medical doctor and also a software developer. And with me today is Profly. And Profly, can you briefly introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, good day, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Lai Nai Ming. I'm a pediatrician, and I'm also an academic at Taylor's University School of Medicine. Welcome. And today, I'm also a kind of enthusiast, amateur enthusiast in AI, mainly in research. So the main show person today is Dr. Suhairi lah. I'll pass it back to him.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Right. So the thing today is we're going to do a simple activity called pair programming, where we're going to code an app together. And as we code, we're going to discuss about what's going on, just to illustrate to the viewers that it is totally possible for everyone to build an app, provided they have given enough time and effort to learn about how to build one. So today we try to demonstrate to build a simple app, probably in less than 1 hour or 2 hours perhaps, and see how you can solve a problem at an emergency setting. So Prof Lai, can you kindly share with us about the situation that we're going to discuss about today?
Sure, Valerie. So, what I will do today is I will provide a context for on which the app can work. Most of you are doctor, you need to see where it applies to. So, with that, I will give you a fairly representative case of emergency department. Not being an emergency physician itself, I am incapable of giving you the detail, but I don't think that's important. The main purpose is to show you that, as Dr. Zuhairi will show you, that an app can be done so that it can be practically useful. So let me give you a scenario, very common. This is a 55-year-old lady and brought to A&E by her daughter. She had headache, blurred vision, confusion, and her right side has been progressively weakness over the last day. So I think it's on admissions. Typically, she is triage and using this. Some of you have heard AVPU scale. AVPU. We explain a little bit. A is alert. V is responsive to verbal stimuli, and P responsive to pain only, and U unresponsive. Some of you will have used that, yeah. So her AVPU scale is P, so on responsive only to painful stimuli, and the vitals. The remarkable thing is the blood pressure is 160 over 90 millimeter mercury, and on examination she has obviously a right-sided weakness with a power of 3 over 5. Left-sided was normal, 5 over 5. So most of you can figure out what's going on, right? So she was quickly based on this AVP, she was quickly wheel in with the cardiac monitor and set up access, take some with some baseline blood taken, and an urgent non-contrast brain CT was ordered, and she was treated as a CVA or stroke. So this context, subsequent management, she was managed in ICU with the main priority being blood pressure control, symptom of headache and confusion control, and her AVPU score. You can use that as well, together with the more sophisticated score like Glasgow Coma. It varies between the P and U, so she's quite serious. And a CT scan show a hemorrhage on the left side, left parietal frontal area of the brain. So this is a very typical scenario of a hemorrhagic stroke. Yeah, so she was managed in stroke unit with the hypertension management, and with the optimistic scenario, she recovers. Now, the main theme today, Dr. Zohairi will show is how to do an app that uses the AVPU feature and then help the physician make a quick decision. So I will give the screen over to Dr. Zuhairis, and you can see what a fascinating work that he can do, and yet we promise you it will be fairly straightforward. Yeah. Okay,
Thank you,
over
Prof.
to you.
Dr. That was very, very interesting scenario indeed. And yes, it's something that we can think about. Probably if say the ED is very busy and we don't have people who are, sort of can attend the patient, at least someone can help in terms of inputting some data and help to address the clinician that, this patient is not okay, please come and see this patient. So perhaps if say you are the doctor or the healthcare worker in that particular spot during that time, and then you seem for somebody how to code, right? This is something that you can innovate, do at a particular, directly in that kind of situation. So it's going to be very helpful if you know how to code. And bear with me, I'm going to demonstrate a bit in terms of how we can build an app using Python, a programming language called Python. Don't worry about the technicalities about the code. You just go through a bit just to understand about what's going on behind the scenes. Because obviously, I think many people wouldn't understand about code when they read it the first time. But if they follow the flow quickly, I'm very confident that many people can understand about what's being, being written on the screen. Okay, I will quickly share my screen now and share my program that I'm going to use. Okay, where is it? Okay, let me just quickly. All right, so okay, there we go. So on my screen now is a program known as Visual Studio Code. It is a kind of program that many programmers use to build programs or scripts or apps, and it is free actually, and out of the box is very empty, and but you can install some extensions for it to use and to execute certain programs or to build certain environments for it to code. So since we are using Python for this program, so we go to this side on the left side here, extensions. You should by now install an extension Python, okay? As you can see, I've already installed Python here. Okay, it's already installed. And also other things that I think can be useful for this. If I don't install this, then this program cannot, can be rendered useless in terms of building Python apps. So I've already installed this program, Python extension in this program, so I can run Python. And I also have installed Python in my device here. I'm not going to go through how to install it because you can find YouTube videos, many videos available about that. But just to show that you need to set up your device properly before you can build an app in whatever language you prefer. So today we're going to use a language known as Python. Okay, Python is a very popular language. It's quite easy to learn for beginners. So I would recommend that those who really want to learn coding to start with Python and to get the feel of how to write codes and how codes are structured, the syntaxes, the flow, the algorithms. Python is a nice language to start with. Okay, now we have an empty program here. Let's quickly build a new program. Okay, let's say let's open a new file quickly. Okay, let's call it a Python file, and let's give it a name as it's okay, just give it a name. Okay, oops, tak keluar. Where's the name? Okay, hang on. Where to change the name? Never mind. Okay, nanti kita cut nanti Prof ini.
Yeah, can restart lah kan.
Yeah. Let me just ini kita cut tadi tu. Sekejap. Where to change the name? I think I need to open a new folder lah. Just open a new folder. Open folder. Easier. Okay, let's go to downloads. Prof, it's quite clear, right?
Quite clear. There was a little bit of break, but not much lah. Just a few seconds. A few seconds.
You continue a bit after I book up. You continue.
Okay.
Let me just. Where is it? Tak apalah, just create a new desktop here. Yeah, okay, here dah buka satu folder.
Okay. Triage app.
Okay, alright. So just ni yang. Okay, just delete it. Okay, right now on my screen I have opened a new file. I name it as triageapp.py. Okay, All right. So, okay, we can rename it as whatever name you like, but I'm going to name it as Triage app. Okay. All right. So this is, we're going to write our code here and build the app from here. Okay. In order to build an app in Python, we need a thing called packages. Packages are sort of predefined codes that people have built for particular purpose. We have packages for mathematics, for AI, for example, and even to build some GUI apps, graphical user interface apps. We have also packages that people have built for us. So there's no need for us to reinvent the wheel when things are there freely available to us. So we have to study what they have written and use it in our project. So in this particular program today, our session today, we're going to use a package called PySite6. So in order to use it, I have to import it into my program. So from PySite6, sorry, PySite6, okay, import particular thing called Qt widgets. Okay, that will be the bare minimum for us to write our code. Okay, now after we import this thing into our project, then we can use whatever is inside this particular file. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is to define the window that we're going to create the app, meaning what we're going to build, what's the layout like, the font, the text, everything. So let's go by class main window, right? And inside it, we're going to extend from these Qt widgets, meaning whatever is inside this widget here that we imported here, we're going pass into our program here. Okay, so Qt widgets dot Q widget. Okay, yeah, that's the first step. And then we have to define a thing called initializing our program. So here, let me do a comment. A comment is simply a thing that doesn't run in the program, just so that we know what the code does, to give some sort of notes to the code. Okay, so let's see here, initialize. Okay, then we put here, for example, let me just quickly defined initialize function. Don't worry about the syntax, you just follow along. What I'm doing here is just I'm telling this program here, whenever you run this program, you're going to do this, just initialize something, okay? Open something. And self refers to this particular program, meaning initialize this thing, main window, initialize myself. Okay, initialize this main window here. Okay, all right. And when that happens, what's going to happen is that we do some sort of this thing. Don't worry about the codes. Again, just follow along and see what's going to happen. Okay. All right. And then secondly is self that. All right. There we go. So we have done two things here. Oh, sorry. I think here should be something different. Let's use it as, oh, sorry. You can see quite well. Let me just make this thing a bit bigger. All right. So you can see better. Okay. So yeah, so these two lines of code here means that whenever you open this file, this is going to be initialized and it's going to be run first, and then this one, right? Okay, now this initialize UI we haven't declared yet, so we're going to do it here. Okay. Initialize UI, initialize the window. Okay. All right, now we have to define this function here, okay, by simply defined. Okay, there we go. So now we are initializing this one, defining this one here, and then we're passing this thing here into this function here. Okay, and we're going to go by declaring whatever we want to see inside this program. First, let's define what's the title going to be like. So self dot set window title. Where is it? Okay, there we go. Title as Triage app. Okay, right, there we go. So let's say we want to see this thing first going on. So we have to display we have to lay out the thing, okay, by simply say never mind, let's just try to run the program first and see what's going to happen. Okay, so to run this program, there's a special syntax in Python called if the name of this program is equals to the main file. Okay, don't worry too much again about the syntax. Okay, if you're going to come to one of our courses, we're going to learn about this thing. Okay, right? Okay, here, and then let's define the app as qt widgets.q application. Okay, here we simply defining a variable called app, which initializes a form of Q application which comes from this package again, from this pi-site6. Okay, so this app is something that's belong to this thing. Whatever is inside this thing is going to be passed into this variable here. Okay, and then let's define our window as this one, main window here. Okay, okay, there we go. And then let's try window, show the window, and lastly, let's execute this. Sorry, execute. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's try to see what's happened if we run this program now. Let's see. Okay, start debugging. Okay, as you can see here, we have an empty program so far with a thing called triage app as the, if you remember, we set the title as triage app, right? So as you can see here, it says here, triage app here. Okay, we have set the window title as triage app. So we have run everything nice. So now we have an empty window that we yet to fill up something inside it. Okay, right, now let's close this one first and keep building our app. Okay. Okay, now the next step is to build the contents of the layout. Okay, so try to bear with me. It's gonna be a bit boring. Maybe we can fast track this one during the video, but let's just quickly build the layouts of the window of the screen of the program. Okay, so after we set the title, let's do something inside this initializing the UI thing. Let's ask. Sorry, where's the keyboard again? Oops. Oops. Sorry. Oops, my mouse is not working.
Your mouse jam, frozen.
Okay, it's okay, it's okay. Oh, battery habis. Okay, it's okay.
Oh, yeah, alamak.
Okay, right, let's continue. So now, inside this this initialized UI, all right, what we're going to do is going to do all the labels. Okay, first self dot label dot heart rate is equals to qt widgets dot a q label. Label is simply a text that displays something on the screen. Okay, just some sort of text there. Okay, all right, so we're going to say here as enter the heart rate. Sorry, okay, thank you. Sorry, daughter came in. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay, so let's continue. Okay, first I'm defining a variable here called self.label heart rate, which actually a form of widget, which is a form of label. We simply a text on the screen, and it says here enter the heart rate. Okay, let's define it as beats per minute. Okay, so we enter the values properly. Okay, that's number one. And then under the label, we want to have some sort of text field for user to input the data, right? So let's give it a name as self dot edit line. I think let's just give it heart rate. Sorry, I gotta see. Okay, edit line. Okay, equals to q widgets dot q line edit. I think line edit. Yeah, start line edit. Okay, so after we define all this variable, we want to show it on the screen. Let's try that. Let's just give a comment here so understand what's going on here. Okay. initializing labels and line edits of everything. Okay, and then here we're gonna arrange the layout. Okay. Okay, here we're gonna say here as layout is equals to we want to in a column. Okay, so layout is equal to q widgets dot qv box layout. It's the form of widget there. Okay, and then here we say layout at widget. Okay, which is self dot label hr. Okay, layout dot add widget self dot hr edit line. So we're gonna put now these two things here into our layout. Okay, we are putting it in a column from top to bottom. Okay, this is basically what's gonna happen. First, we are initializing the window. Okay, then we are initializing all the components, the widgets, so to call, the tags, the text field, and then now we arrange everything inside the column. Okay. Okay, now let's see what's going to happen now. If say we try and run this app now, and see how we can further enhance this app. Okay, so I'm running the app now. As you can see here, some errors there. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay. All right. This one we're gonna cut off. Okay. All right. So let me quickly edit. Okay, that's fine.
The syntax is wrong or something.
Yeah, but actually we haven't completed everything yet. Okay, never mind. Okay, all right. So far we have arranged everything, the layout properly, but we haven't actually set the layout. Yeah, we set the layout. I forgot one very important thing. I should see something like self dot set layout. Set layout. Yeah, that should be the way. And we pass the layout there. Okay, we set the layout. We pass this thing here into this set layout thing. Okay, now let's try again and see. This should work now. Okay. Oh, again, what's going to happen there? HR self dot HR edit line. Okay. Wrong argument types. Add widget tuple add widget. Okay, okay. Let's see again. So it's okay. Self dot. Sorry, Prof, just a bit. We're gonna cut this one out.
No problem, no problem. It's you are way beyond me now. I will need to watch in slow motion, but never mind.
Okay. No
Oh, but
worries, no
very
worries.
good,
Just
very
play
good.
along, just play along. It's okay.
Yeah.
I think there's some sort got to do with the data type actually. Let me just quickly zoom out and see what's happening here. Window, main window. Let me check my code again yesterday. Okay, same. Okay, execute. Yep. So the same. So arrange the layout. Hang on. Where's the layout? Okay, add widget. That's right. Okay. Self.set layout. When we pass this layout here. Qt widgets, QV box layout. Everything's the same. It's a bit weird. I think I need to, yeah, let me just stop running, save properly. Let's try again. Save everything. And then down here, if goes to main, app equals to Qt widgets, Q application. Okay, everything's the same. It's a bit odd.
Strange, huh?
It's a bit odd. Q box add widget call via argument types. It should be tuple. So they identify this thing as a tuple, not as a widget. Q line edit. Hang on. Okay, let me just cancel this one first because the error is here, only one. Let's just Okay, comment that one part and try again. Noise running. Okay, so this line edit here is problematic. Why it doesn't detect? That's a bit weird. Q widgets. Did I type wrongly? Hang on. This part here. So Q edit. Okay. And then here. Q line edit, Q widgets, QT widgets, Q line edit. Let's try again. Boleh lah. Okay. That's a bit weird. Why suddenly I didn't change anything, but never mind. Okay. All right, now it's working. Okay, we continue from here. So now when we run this code here, we can see how actually we are displaying first this label here, okay, which is this one, all right? Second one is the line edit, which is a text field, if you can see here, right? So we are arranging like this, okay? Now we have to input all the other variables, not just heart rate, right? The systolic blood pressure, diastolic blood pressure, okay? So we're going to do it by simply copy pasting everything and change the name only, okay? Make life easier for us. Let's try that. Okay, all right. And now second one should be enter the systolic blood pressure, right? SPP.
Yep, systolic blood pressure.
Systolic, right?
Yep, systolic by millimeter mercury.
Okay, that's right. And then this one, it should be okay.
Diastolic, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna speed this one up. Don't worry. Okay, make it very fast. All right. This one, it should be the respiratory rate, right? Just put it as respiratory rate. Okay. Again, breath. I think just put BPM here. I think it's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Same. Last one is should be the temperature, right?
Temperature, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And oxygen saturation if you want to put.
Yeah, another one. That's right. That's right. So another one. SpO2.
Yep.
All right. Last one is putting the SpO2. Okay. Okay, as you can see here, we have input all the other labels, the heart rate, the systolic blood pressure, diastolic blood pressure, respiratory rate. I'm just copy pasting everything, but now I have to rename this one properly. So this one should be the SPP. Oh, sorry. Okay, okay. SPP, right? Okay, and again here. Now come the boring part of editing everything. SPP. This one should be DBP. Okay. This one should be DBP. This one should be RR, right? Okay. And then this one should be RR again. And this one should be temperature. And here again, temperature. And here is SPO. And again, here is SPO. Okay. So we have input everything. And again, now here we have to add all these widgets. Okay. So let's do this boring part now. Okay. Okay, here first is label, SPP, right? And here is SPP. And here is diastolic, we're adding, okay? And here is diastolic. And next one is the respiratory rate, RR. And here is again RR, okay? And then is the, the temperature, right? Temperature. Okay, and then another one is temperature. And then the oxygen saturation, the SpO2. And lastly, the field for the SpO2. Okay, let's quickly recap. Okay, The label is only the text that shows what the user can read. This edit line here, this Q line edit here is basically the field where they can enter the data. Okay, now we are arranging everything in a vertical column. Okay, so first the label for heart rate, and then the field to enter the heart rate, and then label for blood pressure, then the field for blood pressure, and for the respiratory rate, temperature, and the SPO. So I think you can imagine what's going on here. So don't worry about the peculiarities about what to write. Just understand the structure first, what I'm doing here. It's quite simple actually. You can see first if we are defining all the things, we are arranging the things, and we are setting everything inside this thing. Okay. Now, let's see what's going to happen if we run this program now. Okay, let's save quickly and let's run the program. See, now we are seeing something here. Okay, and we can enter whatever we want to enter. Okay, whatever. Okay, but now it's doing nothing, just simply accepting some sort of input, but we are not doing anything just yet. Okay, okay, let's just close this one quickly. Okay, now we have to do some sort of button down there, right? So button also we have to initialize the button. Okay, and don't forget we have to also set the AVPU score as well. Okay, for the AVPU we have to do something like differently. Okay, self dot label first for the AVPU. Okay, again label is quite easy. What should we write? Q T widgets dot Q label, right? And then just put here as AVPU score, right? Okay, now how about we do some sort of drop down button where the user clicks a button and operations will be listed. Okay, in PySite 6 this is called as Q combo box. Okay, let's do it. Self, let's name it as combo underscore AVPU. All right, you can name whatever you want, but I'm not going to name it as combo AVPU equals to again Qt widgets dot Q combo box. Is it there? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so now this is a combo box here. It can accept many options down there. So let's do it. Self dot combo AVPU. Okay, and add some item there. Okay, and inside it we're going to add, first one is A, right? Alert, right? A for alert. Okay, and of course we have to add all the other things as well. Okay, and then V for response to voice. Okay, okay, and then P response to pain.
Yep.
And then U aren't responsive. Okay, so now we are adding all these items here, and again we have to put in the layout down here. Layout dot add widget. Okay, self dot AVPU combo AVPU. Yeah, there we go. Okay, don't forget also to add the label as well. So just above it we add as label AVPU. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, there we go. And let's try and run this program quickly. Is there any errors? Nope. Now we can see, if you can see here down here, okay. Now we have all the options here. Okay. This is what we call as combo box in PySite 6. Okay. Just simply by doing this line of code over here. Where is it again? This one here, right? We are basically building a combo box or drop down button for this app. So now we are getting there, almost there. Okay. Now let's add a button down there. When we press the button, it's going to calculate the score, whether it's high risk or low risk. Okay. Now let's do that. So let's create the button here. Create the calculate button. Okay. So again, self dot button for try-each equals to, again, qt widgets dot q push button. That's a widget called push button. And then inside this button, there's a label calculate risk. Okay. Or whatever lah, price, whatever. I think we can do it calculate risk as the label there. Okay. So we know it's high risk, medium risk, or low risk. Maybe high risk, we can go to red zone, medium risk can go to yellow, and low risk can go to green, something like that. Okay. And then we have to do something with this button. When we press this button, something going to happen. Okay. So self dot, sorry, dot, again, button dot try each, click dot connect. So whenever we click this button, we're going to connect to something where it will do something. Okay. Let's define a function here. Self dot calculate price. Okay. We have not defined this function yet. Okay. Let's do it now. So whenever we press this button, this thing going to be executed. Do this thing, calculate this price. Now we're going to define this function over here. Okay. Down here, behind this cell out here, go back here, defined calculate price. Okay. So this function is going to calculate something. Okay. To calculate the risk of this particular patient. Okay. Okay. Now, so far so good. Okay. So when we press this button, we're going to calculate, do this calculate thing. Okay. All right. So now let's do this function together. Okay. First of all, in order to calculate the risk, we need to get all the data from all this thing, this line field here. Okay. All this text field, we need to get the data back. Okay. In order to do it, what we have to do is quite simple. Let's comment here. First, get the values. Okay. Right, there we go. So to do it, it's quite simple. First, get the heart rate first. Heart rate is equals to what? Heart rate is equals to self dot lined HR heart rate edit line. Okay. And dot text. Okay. When we do this, we are getting all the value from the text field and we save it in this variable. But we need this variable to be in the form of number. So we put as, let's put as integer. Okay. So we put as integer, meaning whatever value that they put in here going to be saved in the form of a number or integer. So we can do some calculations based on this number. Okay. And then similarly, let's get all the other values as well. So secondly is the, all right, systolic blood pressure. Okay. And from here, we need to change to SPP. Okay. And here we do the diastolic blood pressure. Okay. And then the respiratory rate. Okay. And then the temperature, right? Okay. Temperature. And lastly, the SPO. So we are getting all this value back into this function here. Okay. So we're going to calculate all this thing. Everything is going to convert it into a form of integer. We don't want to do any floating points number here, only rounded numbers. Okay. Integer numbers. Okay. So after we get all the values into this function over here, we're going to do some sort of mathematics. Okay. But before we do it, we also have to get the AVPU score as well. Okay. So get AVPU score. It's quite simple. Let's just describe it as whatever the user choose from the drop-down button just now. So self.combo AVPU dot current text. Okay. Basically, whatever they choose from the drop-down button, whether is you know what, a responsive, respond to voice, whatever, is going to be saved inside this variable over here. Okay. And now let's do some of the logic going on here. Let's do something, some sort of let's describe a boolean. A boolean means a variable that can, you know what, to describe whether something is true or false. Okay, so let's do something like heart rate. Okay, heart rate is abnormal. Okay, okay, it is abnormal when this one, right? Okay, heart rate is less than 60 or heart rate is more than
100, let's say.
100. Okay, that's nice. All right, that's a nice one. Okay, we define this thing as abnormal when heart rate here is less than 60 or more than 100. Okay, that's number one. Secondly, how about SBP? SBP is abnormal. Sorry, abnormal when SBP is less than 90
90, yeah.
or SBP more than 140. Okay, very classical way to describe. And lastly, blood pressure is abnormal. Okay, okay, when the BP is less than 60 or more than 90. Okay, let's just take it that way. Okay, oh sorry, or the BP is more than 90. Okay, and then what else? Respiratory rate is considered as abnormal. I can't even type properly now. Okay, equals to what do you say, Prof? Maybe less than 12, maybe
Less
less
than
than 12,
12, yeah, good, reasonable.
or
More than,
more
I
than
doubt,
20.
the 20 or 30. Yeah, 20 is okay.
20 is nice. Okay, more than 20 considered as abnormal. Okay, let's just, we can, of course we can modify whatever you like. Just for the sake of this demonstration here, we're going to set as 2. Okay, then temperature is abnormal when temperature is less, I think just fever like enough. No hypothermia. Just we can put less than 35. Okay, maybe we can do it more than 38. Let's say that. Okay, so remember we have to put all these things in integer because we are putting here as integer. Okay, we are not doing any floating points, so just integer is enough. Okay, all right, and lastly is SPO. Okay, is normal. Okay, when SPO is less than 95. That's all. Okay, so yeah, I think this is gonna be the checker that we do. So if any of this condition is fulfilled, then it's gonna be true. Okay, if it's not fulfilled, that's gonna be false. Okay, for this one to be true, either one must, at least one of these gonna be true. Okay, or means this one or this one, this one or this one. Okay, all right. So now what I'm going to do next is that we're going to list all of this inside a list, and we're going to check how many are being present in that list. Okay, it's okay. Let me just quickly do it now. So let's say, how do we do it now? Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. The list called as vitals. Okay, the list of vitals equals to the list of all this. Okay, we're gonna put everything inside this list. Okay, SVP is normal, BBP is normal. Okay, respiratory rate is abnormal, temperature is abnormal, and lastly SPO is abnormal. Okay, so we're gonna put everything inside this list, and we're gonna check inside this list how many are true. Okay, if say a certain number are true, then considered as high risk. Then if certain number medium, so number is low. Okay, now let's do the final part of this algorithm. Okay, if this vitals list count number of true, okay, how many of these are true? Okay, if the true, sorry, no need this parenthesis. Okay, that's no need. Okay, if the number of true equals to, let's say, maybe more than, or maybe equals to how many of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is equal to 6. Okay, meaning everything is true. Okay, and or AVPU is AVPU is equals to what? Equals to this one. Okay, I have to copy here properly. Okay, the copy here properly. If equals to unresponsive. Okay, right. So okay, you can define a variable here called as try each category equals to maybe very high risk. Okay, there we go. Right. And then we're gonna check another condition. Else if okay, else if true is say less than 6, meaning 5, okay, and how to say or I think it should be or, okay, less than 5, less than 6, or it should be the way like that. I'm still thinking.
You
Okay.
say it's less, it's between this and that, between
Yeah,
and so.
yeah. I was thinking, how should we classify as very high risk, medium? Okay, just for the sake of demonstration. Okay, if say is more than one lah, more than one. Okay, more than meaning 2 until 5, because if 6 gonna be this category here. Okay, so if more than one, or AVPU score is equals to this one. Okay, response to pain. Okay, let's just go there, copy here. Okay, all right, there we go. Response to pain, and then it should be category as high risk only. Okay, only high risk. Okay, all right. What's this? It's not closed. Oh, sorry. Okay, that's not it. Okay, all right. Again, let's do another condition. Else if true is equals to 1, meaning inside this list only one is true, all the rest are false. Okay, meaning one of them is not normal. Okay, so or a VPU score equals to this one. Okay, again, I'm doing it very simply. Of course, you can modify the algorithm based on your needs, but just to show you the how we structure the logic here. Okay, and we just put here as response to voice. Okay, okay, all right. And lastly, just put an else statement here, meaning if nothing else is being fulfilled, then we just simply say try each category is equals to, sorry, this one should be medium risk, by the way. Okay, and lastly should be a low risk. Okay, there we go. So let me just quickly go through this. Okay, inside this list there are 6 values of Boolean values: true or false, 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 true or false. Okay, now we go through this thing, count inside this list how many are true. If true is equal to 6, meaning every one of these is true, or a VPU score is equals to unresponsive, please return very high risk. Okay, if the true count is more than 1, meaning 2 or up to 5, because it's going to be here. Okay, 2 to 5 is going to be high risk. Okay, if it's only 1 is abnormal, or the patient is response to voice, then it's going to be medium risk. And lastly, if nothing else is fulfilled, just consider as low risk. I think it's quite logical. I think, like Prof, just to get
Yes,
process.
oh, it's good. Oh, finally, like coming together. So
Exactly.
yeah, very good.
Right. Now we are passing this function here, everything here Okay, everything that we do here, we are passing it. Sorry, yes, something. Okay, we are passing everything that we do here. Let me zoom out a bit. Okay, this function that we write here, we just wrote here. Calculate taraysh ni, this one, we pass inside this thing. Okay, so whenever we press this button, you're gonna run this thing, everything. Okay, and lastly, don't forget to put the label of the result somewhere. Okay, so let's just put here another widget down here. Last one here. Okay, self dot triage label, where we is going to display the result of our calculation. Okay, is equals to qt widgets dot q label. Okay, for now just leave it empty for now, right? But here when we get the score here, all right, after we get the score, then down here this function here, we're going to set this label here into this value here, high or medium or low. Okay, so let's access that here. Self, sorry, self, where is it? Self dot write label dot set text. Okay, pass the write category here. So we are passing this value here, trash category, into this label whenever they have done the calculation. Okay, and then we're gonna put this label in our layout down here. Okay, down here we're gonna put self. Okay, don't forget to put the button first. Put the button first. Okay, under the button we're going to display the result. Okay, self dot triage label. Okay, wow, we have done everything. Okay, right, in about 1 hour. Okay, all right,
Fantastic. Yeah.
so let's see how is it going to run. Let's see if there's some error in this program. Okay, start debugging now. Okay, heart rate, let's try. Prof, you give the value, Prof, based on the patient just now. Heart rate is what?
Heart rate of the patient, let's see, it was 90 beats per minute.
All right, cool. The systolic blood pressure?
160.
160.
Uh,
Diastolic?
Diastolic is 90.
90, good. And respiratory rate?
Respiratory is 16,
16, okay. Temperature?
Temperature is let me see, is
Just put some
30
value.
30 81 lah, let's say 38.1.
38 lah. Okay. Just
38.
Okay, right. SpO2 is
96.
96. Okay. What's the AVPU score for this patient? Is this patient alert or?
The initial one was pain.
Okay, let's see. Calculate risk, high risk.
Oh,
right? Okay, it's
yes,
okay.
yes,
All right.
yes, very good.
Okay, let's try different one. Let's say the patient is alert. Okay, and but the rest are still not normal, but patient is alert. Okay, let's see, medium risk. Okay, it gets down to the vital signs. Okay, but if say is unresponsive, then it's gonna be very high risk. Despite the vitals are normal, this AVPU score is overriding the vital score. Okay, so we are sort of if the vitals are more prominent than AVPU, we follow the vitals. If the AVPU is more than the vital, we follow AVPU. So it's gonna be a balance. You know what? We're thinking in balanced way. Sometimes the vitals can be normal, but the patient is not responsive, then consider as high risk, despite the vitals are normal. So that would be a nice way to try each patient at ED as well, apart from just looking at the vital sign.
Yes.
So I think that's all for our session today. We have finished building this app. I know it's a lot to take in, but I do hope that whatever we have discussed today do make sense. And again, I want to assure the viewers, it's not about the code that you have to know, but it's about the logic that we put when we build this app. You can always learn the syntax through documentations, through books, but understanding the architecture, how the app is being designed, the logic, the spirit behind building this app is what matters most when it comes to helping our patients actually.
Yes,
So,
I fully
Prof,
agree.
if there's anything, a comment you want to put in, or you want to?
No, it's a fantastic eye opener. Yeah, I'm sure you will see. coding can come about, if you put your focus on it, and even by doctors, to put into good use. I'm sure, like Zuhairi said, the knowledge before and after, the context and the setting, you can learn elsewhere, and it just show you how it can be done. It can be done in a short time as well, and to
Yes.
tailor it to all sorts of clinical situation. So we really want to thank Dr. Suhairi for lending his expertise to all of us. I think we will benefit, and of course, for me, I need to read again and again this one. Finally,
No
I think
worries.
it will be very useful.
No
Yeah,
worries. No worries.
fantastic. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Prof. That was very humbling. In fact, I will share the code somewhere and the link in the video description to get download, and you guys can try it on your own. And like Prof. said, imagine if you know how to code and you were there in the particular situation, you can always build this on your own and contribute to your organization. So I really believe that doctors who know how to code, meaning they can solve problems right on the dot. They don't have to consult any software developers. We're not building any very big program, just something that's very practical, very easy to do, but very impactful for the patient care, like this one we're building here at the moment. So again, big thanks to Prof. Dr. Lai for, for bearing with me and sharing his opinion about the whole situation, what we're doing today. And we do have some upcoming programs for the viewers and about coding and stuff like that. If you are interested, you kindly follow Medic Footprints Malaysia. And until next time, hopefully we can meet again. And thank you, everyone.